last comment, because I also want to raise an issue about diversification of participation. IISD is different from most participants in the IGF in that its primary concerns are to do with other policy domains, to do with sustainable development and the environment. And it participates in the IGF because it believes communications and connectivity and the internet are centrally important to those other policy domains. And this reflection stems from that perspective. From IISD's point of view, the IGF is very good at internal conversations about the internet amongst people whose primary concern is the internet itself, from various stakeholder groups. And the Sharm experience from IISD's point of view reiterated this. IGF has developed a community across stakeholder boundaries which very few people here would have anticipated in 2003. But the discussions that it has range extensively into the relationship between the internet and other public policy domains. Domains such as development, the environment, rights, the role of the internet in economic recovery. From IISD's point of view, in order to engage effectively with those debates, the IISD is strongly supportive of the IGF's role in these debates about other aspects of culture and society and economy. But in order to have an effective role within those debates, the IGF has to engage with people whose primary responsibilities lie in those other policy domains. It has to bring into the conversation those whose expertise lies in areas outside the internet. And those people, it seems to us, are not sufficiently in the room at present. There aren't enough governments, but there also aren't enough people from different aspects of government. The private sector in the IGF is primarily to do with the ICT sector. It doesn't include, for example, direct representation of financial services industries. Civil society is primarily represented by individuals. The big international NGOs are not present within IGF discussions. And that, I think, is unfortunate both from the IGF's point of view and from the discourse about the internet and wider world community, wider world development. IISD's got a number of ideas about how to try and build a dialogue with these other policy domains, which we'll be putting forward, and certainly sees it as part of its, as a major part of its work in the IGF over the next year. For example, I would be interested in seeing an opportunity for people who aren't part of the current IGF community to put on one or two workshops in the IGF to talk about their perspective on how the internet affects their policy domain. Something from which I think both communities could learn. So IISD's point, which is also set out in a memorandum, is to urge the Secretariat, the MAG, and all participants here to consider how we can best bring in the wider community of other policy domains with which the internet intersects into the conversations that we have.